Boom, we're here, right? Hello, hello. My name is Kurt, and I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday night live where we come to you. I come to you and we start to draw. Every Wednesday night we practice a portrait drawing, and I take you through all the steps, and I try and guide you step by step so you could find a lot of success. So yeah, so here we are. Good to have everyone here. Last week we drew an Indian head. This week we have a woman, and that should be excellent. I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to take a look at a couple different things, okay? So I'm live in the chat. I can see what's going on. Just a little bit delay. So if you have any questions, please just give me a shout out there. Other than that, let me just tell you a couple things. We do have a very active Facebook group, and you could find the link down below. I also have a free class that's going to really set you up for success called the Beginner's Workshop Part A. And that's also down in the link as well. And there's one other class. If you really want to see a lot of success, I encourage you to sign up for the Daily Draw. The Daily Draw, we meet every day for about 30 minutes. It's private, and I'm able to really help you conquer all of your drawing dreams. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? So anyways, so that's it. Let's go ahead and get started here. What I'm going to do in the first part here is I'm just going to try and simplify the head drawing process, because this is very complicated, but I think we can look at it in a simple way, okay? So let's take a look at this. If I look at the head almost straight on, almost like straight on here, you can oftentimes get a feel that it's almost like square. But then if I turn my head to the side, you see that? That takes on a much more rounded view, all right? The other thing, so just kind of know that in mind. And so if we start off just with a sphere, okay, and let's do another one there. And let's see, I've got some notes in here. I just want to check here. Okay, and let's do one over here as well. All right. So the first line that I want to put on my sphere is really what I call the brow line. Okay. Sometimes you'll use the eye line, and the eye line goes right through the eye. The brow line will go right through the brows. Okay. So let's just say that we are going to use the brow line. All right. So on this first picture, if I make a brow line like this, that means I'm looking down on that person. You see that? I'm kind of looking up, or that person's head is looking down. And we'll call this A. In B, if I draw that brow line like this, that means that maybe they're raising their head just a little bit. You see that? And then in C, if you go straight across almost, then they're almost looking straight at you. All right, that's easy. So the next thing that we can take a look at here is, once we determine whether the person's looking up or looking down, we can determine where along that brow line is the center of their face. And the center of the face is determined by a line going right down the center. You see that? So in A, let's just say that we're going to make that center of the face right there. In B, let's say that center of the face is going to be right there. And then over on C, let's say that center of the face is going to be right there. You see that? Okay, the next thing I want to show you on this is the idea of like getting in the ear and the jaw. Okay, these are two really great landmarks. So if this is the brow line, typically the ear, and you can see it lining up here with my glasses a little bit, the ear will line up with the brow line, somewhere either the top of it or along the eye. The bottom part of the ear will line up with the bottom part of the nose. All right. So over here, let's just do something like this, okay? And then what we can do is drop a small line and give us a nice sweeping curve there. So this will give us a little indication of where that jaw is. Let's do the same thing up here. Let's drop an ear shape and drop a little bit of a line. That little bit of a line is like right here, okay? And then we hit the corner of the jaw. And since we're looking up, the jaw is going to curve around just a little bit. Let's come over here to C. Let's draw a little bit of an ear, drop down, and then the jaw is going to curve around like this. On A, let's get this other side, and we're just going to indicate it with almost like a straight line there. On B, we're going to do the same thing, just kind of indicate that right over there. And what did I do on C here? I don't know what I was. Oh, I know, that's the jaw right there. Okay, I got confused for a second there. Okay, here we are. Great. So that is your basic. That is the most basic head that you could possibly draw. But now, if you were to draw this looking straight on, okay, this might be your brow line. All right, your ears are going to be over here. Ear, you drop down a little bit, and that's your jaw. If you were looking at the side view, let's just bring this over here. If we were looking at the side view, it's going to be something like this. There's your brow line. See this? Your ear is back here like this. Drop a little bit down there. Sweep that around, and then you got the front of your face there. Okay, how's that? How's everyone doing? Doing good? Staying with me on this one? Okay, so let's go ahead and put our nose in these. All right, and all I want you to do is just drop almost like a Muppet nose. All I want you to do is drop a little bit of a Muppet nose on these guys here. Just a round nose. I'm not terribly worried that it looks exactly. I just want to kind of show you the basics. Okay, over on A, let's drop just a couple areas for the eyeballs like this. You see that? Right below that. All right, this is going to be set back in the head just a little bit there. And then this is a very important step is determining the ball of the mouth. The ball of the mouth starts behind the nose, and it comes all the way around here, and it goes right below the chin, right underneath the chin here. And your mouth, it's your teeth. Your teeth are very round, have a very round shape. And so then your whole mouth kind of goes around that. It's a very round surface. So we call that the ball of the mouth. So if I was going to do it on this front guy here, I might do something like this, okay? This guy down here, I'm going to put it in like this. All right. This right there. All right, so there's the ball of the mouth. Keeping it simple. Each one of these things just keeps adding up. Okay, so the corners of your mouth will go to the edge of the ball of the mouth, and they also typically line up, look, with the center of your eye. You see that? Center of your eye. So let's do that over here. It's going to come over here, and this is like just like this, and it's going to come over there, and this is a little bit round because it's going along the surface there. This is round. Okay. Another alignment I didn't mention was the corner, the very corner of the eyes, right there, usually line up with the outside edge of the nose. Okay, outside edge of the nose. So that's going to be kind of like in there. All right. Just so you know these alignments, these are really good to have in your memory, and every week we try and remind you of them, or I try to, okay? Okay, so we got that, good. Center, okay, so I think that's going to do it for as far as today's general proportions, because I think we covered a lot there. The one thing I do want to show you is the corner of the jaw usually lines up with the mouth. So it's like right here, right there, you see on me? This, let's go over here. This is going to line up with the corner of my mouth because my jaw is pivoting from this corner. All right, so we want to just something to keep in mind as you draw your heads. I'm going to put a little eyeball right there. And with that, let's get on to drawing our picture. All right. Any questions? If you have a question, throw it out in the chat and I'll be quick to answer it for you. So this is a photograph I took from a really great website, and I just want to give it credit. The name of the website is earthsworld.com. That's EARTHSWORLD. I discovered it I discovered it a long time ago, and it's really taken off in popularity over the years. But it's a photographer. He goes by the name of Earth. So it's earthsworld.com. It has excellent, just common people to draw from, and it's my favorite place to go to for drawing portraits. All right, so with that being said, let's get started with this. And first thing I want to do, we're going to start off with a quick gesture. And when I gesture, I hold my pencil back toward the back, and I just kind of go quick. I'm trying to get an overall feel for my model here, and I'm going to do it light. I'm looking for where about the eye line might be and the nose. Okay. And I had to cut off her back of her hair there. All right, so there's my quick gesture. All right, it's just something to start off on. And she has a ponytail, but we'll come back and get that ponytail. I just wanted to get the picture as big as possible. Okay, next thing, let's go ahead and get her brow line in. And her brow line, I believe, is like coming just right about here, and it kind of stops at the temple, and the temple is the part that's at the very edge of your eyebrows. Okay, right there, you could feel it, and your brow line will come around here and then circle back down the side of your head. So in this case, we're just going to bring this down almost like that. Okay. At the brow line here, we're just going to do a very light side oval on the side of her head there. This is where the head will get flat. You see, when I look right in the camera, the head gets flat, and it starts right at the temple. Okay, the other side, I'm just going to kind of run a straight line that's in the same direction as the side of her head there, and this is just to help me, give me some guidance. Okay, so this next mark is really important. Okay, So we have the temple here, and you could see actually her temple on the other side is right here. And let me point it out to you. It's right there. You see that? Because it's the part that is the node that sticks out right there. All right. Now let's get the center line. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this picture really carefully. The center line is not going to be exactly in between A and B here. You see that? The center line is going to be far more off to the left. It's going to be right about there. That's about where it's at, because she's looking in 3/4 view. And this is where I believe it is, right about there. Remember, when we're drawing portraits, don't try and make it look like the person. Don't even try. Just take that right off the table. Don't even try and get it. What I want you to try and get is to draw the construction. Try and look at the planes. Look at the construction of it. And as you get the construction down correctly, the likeness will just happen without you even trying. So focus on the construction. Disregard trying to make it look like the person, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and get this part that we might call the visor, okay? The visor of the eyes. And so it's going to come in just a little bit, just like this. And then it's going to come all the way down like this. You see this? And you could very lightly, if you wanted to, this will be the eye line. Keep it light here. Keep the whole thing really light. Okay, let's go ahead. We practice kind of drawing the jaw, and let me just point out to you. So we just practiced drawing the jaw a little bit. So we're going to drop this down just a little bit, like this, and then we're going to come under here, and this lower part right here. Let me show you about where that's at on our model. You know, that's going to be kind of in this area right there. You see that? Right underneath the bottom of the nose. So we're going to curve around here for our jaw. And then we're going to come around here just like this. You see this? Keeping it simple. All we're doing is slowly building the construction. Let's get this forehead in here, and I'm just going to come up like this. All right, so that's a good idea about where that outside edge of that forehead, and we can make an adjustment a little bit later. Let's build out the center line here, okay? So the center line is going to follow the visor of the eye. So we're going to come back like this. You see that? And then we're going to come forward like this. And then right here, it's going to hit the barrel of the mouth. So we want to kind of curve this, have a slight curve coming down. And then our model here has a lovely chin, so let's get that chin in here. It's gonna show more on this side. And then of course that center line is gonna go over that chin. You see that? So this is what I mean by construction. We are slowly building this thing out. trying to get it into its main form, main mass. All right. Let's get this nose in. This nose will be helpful. All right, so thing with the nose is, generally speaking, a real good way to remember this is think of a man's tie. This just seems to work really well for me. So I'm gonna draw it up here so I can erase this. Usually when I think of a man's tie, on the top there you have a knot, okay, and then it's gonna come down like this. This is the tip of the nose, and then it comes underneath. All right, it's a good way, it's a good form to remember. And then over here, you have the wings of the nose, like this. And that is our basic structure of the nose. So I'm gonna just remove that, and then we'll add it. So this is going to be the top part. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do. I am going to show it. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller and move it right there. So you can kind of visualize that as we draw it. Oops. Okay, so here we go. Let's come in with that little bit of a wedge. This is going to be what they call the the wedge. No. The keystone of the nose. All right. So look at this nose now. It's coming. She's coming down a little bit wider there. You see that? Then it's coming underneath. Okay. So there we are, like this. There's the top part of that tie. And it's coming in something like that. Now, one thing that helps me as I'm drawing that, let me show you this, is I'm looking for this negative space. See that shape right there? So I'm trying to match that as I'm drawing the nose. Okay, so this is going to come back here just a little bit. You see that? And then the side of it is going to come straight down, and she has this lovely nostril. So let's try and get this in. All right, it's like an S in a way. I'll get the opening there, and then the wing of her nose. And now that I'm looking at it a little bit closer, I'm going to bring my tip a little bit, just to make a slight adjustment here. This is why I like to draw light. And I can already see that I've made the nose too big. Yeah. Wow. I've stretched it out a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it. Maybe we can make the septum just a little bit shorter on mine to make up for my larger nose. It happens, right? All right, let's get this ball of the mouth in. Okay, so the ball of the mouth, let me show you on our model where it's at. All right, ball of the mouth is coming around here. Look. You see that? And then the center of it is going to be just like that. Remember, we're drawing construction. We don't care if this looks like her or not. All right, so the ball of the mouth is starting over there. Okay, there's my ball of the mouth. Okay, let's go ahead and get the septum in and start moving into our lips. So we'll start right at the center. There's my septum, and you can see that the septum, look at mine, mine's right here, and it goes right to the outside part of the nose. You see that? Right there. So the next part, when I draw the lips, now I want to look for, these are the key, like if you were to think of like a constellation, looking for stars, you know, and the corner of the lips is going to be right here in the corner of the mouth, and I want that's the point that I'm looking for, and I'm trying to see what's the relationship between these and where the lips come in contact with the groove right here, and I don't know what the name of this thing is, so we're gonna have to come up with that, but it's gonna be right there. That's the one point, and then I'm going to put this right about there, and the other one's gonna be right about there. How did I find that? Well, I use this. Look, let me go to a different, let me see here. I went with, how did I find that? I was looking at this negative shape. So when I'm drawing the human head, I'm constantly looking for these small little negative shapes and then trying to replicate them in my drawing, and that helps me to lock things in place. So let's go ahead, now that we have that, so let's go ahead and put that in. I'm looking at that negative shape now. Okay, and then this is just kind of, gotta look closely here. I gotta zoom in here. Okay, this is gonna come right around there, just like that. Her center lip now is coming down like this, just like that. And there's a slight S curve. Watch this. It's like it goes like this. There's a very slight S curve where those lips match up. All right. So let's try and get that in there. And the other side as well. Okay, the bottom part here, let's get some, give it some real estate here. Her lip down below, and it comes toward the center, and then this just sweeps up. But what I want to do before I draw that mark, I'm looking at this. I'm looking where that lip ends and where that lip ends. You see that? So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And look at this. I can already see that I needed to extend that nose out a little further. That nose is definitely out in front of those lips there, and it looks like I pulled mine in a little too tight, but oh, that's okay. We're all in a good place. Okay. All right, excellent. Let's come in now. Let's get the undershadow part of her mouth there. And then we've got her chin. And then I can see the underside here. And where's this? Now this is what I'm looking for right now. You know, I'm kind of looking at, where does that line up? Where does that one line up? You see that? That's what I'm looking for. All right. And then her shoulder, this shoulder on this side, look where that's coming in at. Let's get that coming in just like this. And then the rest of her neck is coming down like this. Now there's a very important tendon here that you need to be aware of, especially you're going to see a lot when you're drawing portraits, and it makes a huge difference. So take your finger and just press it down here. This is the pit of your neck, okay? And this tendon goes from like the back of your head straight down this line right to the pit of your neck. And you could see it. We could see it in our model, and we want to kind of do a quick little line to show that. And it's right here. Look at this. It comes right down here. Here's the pit of her neck, and here is the other one on the other side. You see that? Let me erase that now, and then you can actually see it in the photo. So how I would draw that then would be like this. I'm going to look to see where the pit of the neck is, and it's going to be kind of down here. You see this? And I'm just going to give a light line coming in like this. And I can see another light line coming in just like that. See, that's going to help me shade when I get to that point. But this is, again, just construction. Okay, let's get her eyeballs in. How about that? It's about time. You're like, come on. Come on, let's do this. All right, so her eyeballs are going to be sitting back here. Remember, this is going to line up with that center pupil there. All right, so we got that one there. And we got this one back over here. That's being hidden by the nose. I always like drawing the eyeballs. It's easier for me to get the roundness of them. Okay, so then, since now we can't see the pupil, but the pupil is going to be more off to the left there. So we'll just do this for right now. And then when we put the eyelids in, these will all be covered up. But at least for this point, this will help us with our construction. Okay, let's do this. So she has a lot of heavy mascara, which makes it easier for us. So let's come in here, and when we draw over this eyeball, let's come up and then down. So you're going to come up, and of course then you're going to come down here to the corner. And we could do the other as well. This time it's going to come around and then down in the corner. Okay, eyelid here is coming straight up like this. And then you can see the skin is like the top part of that eyelid, it's like overlapping it. So let's do that. Let's curve this around here. It's gonna be like this. And the same thing goes over here as well. We're going to get these eyelashes in just a second. All right. Her eyelid, her bottom part, okay, is coming just like this maybe. And the same one as well over here. And then it's kind of really defined on the inside there. And it's coming straight down there, just slightly. Let's have some fun now with these eyelashes, okay? So eyelashes on the far side here. Man, I'm going to have a good time with that. Look at that. Boom. And I want to think of them more as a unit than as individual. It's kind of, you kind of do a little bit of both. But you want to make sure you're doing them thick and they're coming out. There's a lot of shading of them because they're so thick. All right, let's get that cheek. I'm going to get my cheek in on my far left-hand side, and if you look at the picture and look at my drawing, right now where I've indicated where I think the cheek is far too low. You see that? So this is the time that I get to adjust that. So I'm going to really take a look at the picture, and I'm going to look at, once again, use negative shape to help me determine this. And this is what I'm looking at right here. See this? That's what I'm looking at in my mind's eye. All right, so here we go. Let's get this done. Probably wake up tomorrow morning and go, oh my gosh, I was so off on that. It's possible. Oh, that's okay. All right, let's get that temple on the far right side. Then there's a little bit of a curve. It comes around and then right back into her forehead there. She's got those great looking eyebrows. Let's put those in. And I'm just going to almost draw them like a mass. There's that one there. And then how far does this one come into the picture? Right about there. I'm looking at my negative. Kind of outlining the outside of them. And then I'll come in and fill them in. Wow, we're in the home stretch. We're in the home stretch. Let's jump over and not neglect this ear because this ear is totally visible. So let's walk through how to draw an ear real fast. I start with the letter C, so you can kind of see I start with the letter C so you can see. That is a pretty good dad joke, huh? All right, there it is. So we're going to start with the letter C. That it's kind of like this right there, all right? Next thing we're going to do is come in with another letter C, but this time it's going to be just like something like that, all right? So let's do that next. Then we want to look for kind of the Y of the ear, and the Y of the ear comes in top there. Oops, come on. Comes in, it's going to circle around, and then it kind of ends with a little bit of a bowl, all right? And this turns into, in her case, this turns into her earlobe. So let's get that in place there. Let's draw the inside part first. All right, this is the inside part of the Y. Then it comes down. Creates that bowl, and look at that. She's got that little earring hole that goes right there. And let's get the back of her head. I'll pause for a minute. That might have been a lot to take in. Okay, let's curve this around for the back of her head, and then her shoulder kicks it out this way about. Okay, let's go ahead and get the, I'm going to come back to her hair in a minute, but I want to now is to drop in some shadow. Okay, and I'm looking, when I'm going to drop in the shadow, I'm not going to try and get any gradation. I'm just looking for one even tone. So I'm really looking for shape. So watch what I do here. I can already see that this is bringing in some light over here. So I'm just going to lightly a very even tone going all the way across. Going slowly. This has a bit of a shadow being cast by her nose. All right, this is coming around like this. And then we got this shadow casting down here like this. And I'm going to add a little bit of tone to her upper lip. Get her neck in. Again, I'm just looking for shape, and the shadow is going to follow the roll of her skin. Very even tone, one tone. So she is if you look at the bottom of her chin there, she has that reflective light. Do you see that? Let's make sure that we capture that. So I'm just going to come up a little bit short in my shadow here. Okay. And then she has a little bit of a shadow on her side of her cheek here. And then this as well. Not too shabby, huh? A little bit of a shadow underneath her ear, top part of her ear there. What else underneath maybe as well? Nice even tone. Okay, let's get this hair in the last 50 minutes. Okay, great. So let's get the shape of her hair in here. I'm gonna follow the top part, the forehead here, and you know what? I did notice she has this little bit of a wrinkle here because she's kind of looking into the sun. All right, so this is gonna come down here. Okay. And I'm going to remove this picture because I want to bring it in again, but I'm going to make it smaller. So let's see, insert photo. There it is there. That way I could get her full idea of oops, I'll go right about to there. And we're going to take the nose off now. Okay, let's kind of get this, oh, look at that. Look what I've done now. So let's adjust that photo. Just come over here just a little bit. Okay, that's good. And we can just come over there. Okay. All right, now we're ready. Okay, so let's just get an idea of the back of her head here. And when I'm drawing these big strokes here, I'm not using my wrist anymore. I'm using my elbow. This helps me to really get a nice smooth line. Okay. Nice big full ponytail back there, right? Now let's come in here almost like we're drawing this out of clay, or we're adding clay on top of her head, a thickness here, you see? I'm thinking a shape here. All right. I put my pencil down, and as I do my stroke, as I get to the end, I pull my pencil off, so it adds this really nice taper to the line. Sonia, if you end up watching, Sonia is one of my students, and she and I were having a conversation about how do I get a nice taper when I'm drawing with an Apple pencil, and that's how I do it. I push down, and then as I get closer to the end of my line, I kind of pull it off, and that ends up giving a nice taper. Okay, not too bad here. I'm going to now go in here and I'm just going to give an overall tone to her hair. So now what's left is for us just to start to finalize the sketch with the values of her hair and making sure that we've got this looking pretty good. Are there any questions or anything? I'll be happy to answer them. Look at that. I've just, as I'm looking, taking a second look here, look, you can see that there's a slight tone in this area here. You know, and then it comes down here like this. You see that? Oh. I gotta call my dad back. All right. We'll do that in just a second here. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up here. That should get you going to trying to finish off this hair here. When you do the hair and you get that even tone, just go back into it and start to look for those darker tones. For example, look, the back end of her hair here, I'm just gonna do this little section here for you. It gets really dark, you see this? And it's because it's turning away from us, away from the light. Where this part right here, let me show you. You know, this right here is hitting the light dead on, okay? But as the this area is turning away from that's turning away from the light. So like you would tone a sphere, you're going to want to do the same thing there. All right. Hey, that's it. That's what we got tonight. I will probably finish my hair a little bit later because we're up on the hour. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this has been our Wednesday night portrait class. Let me know. Join our Facebook group. Join one of our classes. Let me know how I can help you. Give a thumbs up and a comment in the video would be awesome. Okay? Thanks, everyone. I will see you later. Have a great night. Bye-bye.